things that obviously are being discussed and talked about. Unfortunately, because they're legal negotiations, that we are bound, of course, by some of the confidentiality even required by the Department of Justice. We're not allowed to discuss things that they do not allow us to disclose. With that, I think it is very important to hear from residents to let us know what are the things, or what to you would be a successful negotiation. What is the priorities for you to see come from an agreement with the Department of Justice? Again, money, even though that's obviously a consideration that comes up oftentimes in the media, is obviously not the only factor. But when I hear people talk about a sustainable community is one that is also financially sustainable. Without being financially sustainable, you do not have a police department, a fire department, a parks and recreation, nobody fills the potholes, and you don't have a city government. So obviously that is just part of it, but we need to be sustainable both financially and both as a community. And so it's important for us to hear from you on those issues, and I encourage you to do so. I also would like to just say, I think it's unfortunate that we continue to hear people say things that the community, or rather the council, is not willing to change, has not made changes, has not been progressive. But in fact, I think for the past year, many of the issues that we've talked about across, not just in the city of Ferguson, but across the region, the city of Ferguson has led the way on those changes. If you look at things such as court reform, some of which go into effect this week, some of those changes the city council in Ferguson adopted last year. These are all things that the city council has looked at itself, looked at our city government operations, looked at our police department, and decided, what can we do better? What have we done that maybe we could either do better? What have we done wrong? And how can we make progress for our community? We've been very diligent in trying to do that. We're obviously taking input always, and continuing to move this community forward for everyone. And I think that even this week, as we see the judge that the city council put in place, we took the actions to find a reform-minded judge to work with our court system to make improvements, to make our courts a fairer place for people to come and have justice served. I think the council and I think the city deserves some credit for some of those things that we've done. Obviously, we're not done. Progress is not a destination, it's a journey. We're continuing that, and we're going to continue that. But I want to make sure people do recognize that we've changed a tremendous amount over the past year. We're leading that change in the area, and there's still a lot of change that needs to happen, not just here in this room or in this community, but in many communities across the region, across the country. We have led that change. There are many others who are still dragging their feet. So I think that we should at least get some credit for that. I wouldn't say that we're done. And as I said, I think we want to continue to hear your input. I encourage you to do that every day of the year. Emails, phone calls, we're always open to listen and engage anyone.